Hey everyone, my name is Ammon Anderson. Hi, and I'm a game designer, and this is a game called Eat the Feet. It's called Eat the Feet because players are playing as Piranha, and they are going after feet that are in the water. When a piranha eats the feet, it flips over, and it turns to bones. And so it's actually like pretty funny and very cute. This game is designed for 4 players. It could be more players with an additional box if that was what happened during publishing. Players essentially have dice that have piranha on them. So one of the interesting things about these dice, oh, I just messed it all up. Don't worry, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna fix it. Is that every single dice has a dual of one side. So this one is the crazy eyes. So, you know, fish eye in the water. This one would count as 2 dice if you rolled this one as 2. But this would be the only orange dice that has 2 of those on it, because on this die, it's actually that one. So like instead of having 1 of those on this die, it has 2 of those. So every single dice has one side that is better odds for a certain type of fish or piranha. This is a wild dice, so it's called Blood in the Water, and Blood in the Water can be played anywhere. You'll notice the same symbols are on the cards where the polyominoes are. And players, what they're basically doing is on their turn, they're going to roll their dice, right? And then once they roll their dice, now they can choose again to roll up to 2 more times. Oh, I knocked that one over. That was actually like this. And I'm gonna roll that one more time. So, cool, 2 wilds. So that would be the end of my turn for rolling, because I've rolled my 3 times. And then what I have is 3 of those piranha, 2 of the wide-mouthed piranha, and 2 wilds. And this player would also be able to roll and see what they want to go for. So this one actually, wow, that's actually really a pretty great roll. I think I'm going to roll these one more time. And 3 wilds. That's crazy. So what a great hand for actually both players. So at this point, everyone is going to start placing dice. Technically, after your first roll, you have to place 1 die down, but this is an instructional video, and I'm trying to explain the concept here. So, you know, I might say I'm going to place those 3 dice right here because I'm going to go after this insect. And since it's a wild, you can place any dice here, and I might just do that. I want that foot, so I'm going to place basically essentially 4 dice there. This person might say, you're not going to take that, and I'm going to actually do this, and I'm gonna beat that out with 5. And then that would be the end of the round. At the end of the round, people are gonna take back their swarms of fish. So this is like a swarm of piranha, and this is really swarming around that foot. So the dice are actually like a visual representation of piranha. And since pink won that, they would get to flip this over and take the bones and place this here into their thing. Now, the cool thing about this game is that the board has actually places. Think of this like sort of like a really advanced bingo, where you get to go get whatever you want and place it wherever you want here and get the rewards for where you place it. So basically, like if I put this here, I'm gonna cover up other things that I want, right? But I might be able to like get a free draw. And so there's gonna be some extra these tokens in a bag and a free draw, and it's like, oh, well, I got an object. It's a surfboard. That doesn't really help me for my strategy, but I'm gonna place it right there because it starts to fill in this board. Players get points by not only covering spaces on the board, but also every time you fill in a column, you're going to get 10 points, or a row, you get 10 points. If you fill in a diagonal, then you're gonna get an additional dice for the rest of the game that gets added to your pool of dice that you get to play with. So there should be some gray dice, but my budget didn't have gray dice in it. So I just used other players' dice. So this is like advanced bingo with polyominoes that people are going after with swarms of dice. And then I also have goggles. So I can look over here and say, oh, like, let's see, I got goggles. Oh, I covered up the goggle one. That's a sad thing, because the goggle one would have got me extra foot. But I might place it there. So the other thing about this game that's interesting is that when you place things next to each other that match, so if I had another foot and it was right here, then that is worth 2 extra points. So I'd immediately get 2 points for placing those side by side. So you get points based on where you place immediately, and you get points based on rows and columns that you fill in, and you get bonuses based on where things land on your board. Now, the last thing to know about Eat the Feet is this. You have these really cool dice mitigation systems. So maybe you have a really bad roll and you're not going to win anything and you know it. You can always take your turn and say, I want to turn this into a wild dice next turn. And you know what? I'm going to use the wild dice that has 2 wilds on it, because that's the one I want to use there, because that counts for 2 next turn. Or maybe I'm just really bad with my 3 turns and I want to re-roll 3 dice. Even if I've already placed them, I can place this here and I can pick those up and I can re-roll those to try to change my strategy. I can store 2 dice for next turn based on what they are this turn. Or if I go here, I can get a gray dice for 1 turn by going there next turn. So I'm converting this into a next turn dice. So it uses like some dice mitigation, and there's a bunch of these cards, and these get traded out so that like each game's a little bit different. So essentially, this is the basic concept behind Eat the Feet. Game for 2 to 4 players. It plays in 7 rounds, and at the end of 7 rounds, whatever you have filled in is the end of the game. And players are fighting over people's feet. So I hope this looks interesting. Let me know if you like it. Thanks for checking it out.